All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's long coffee break. My name's Austin Whiteley. I'm a sales engineer out of our Fort Collins office. This week, we are joined by Reed. He's our outside sales engineer for Moss. Moss is a third-party installation manufacturer that can do a lot of special and unique designs with our Daikin Skyline Envision air handling units. Reed, why don't you take it away?
Hey, thanks, Austin. Like Austin said, guys, I am with Mass HVAC, an outside sales engineer over here. Um, we're basically just going to do a nice, quick little prezo for you guys. It's a nice little coffee break. So Mass, as Austin said, third-party modifier for Daikin Vision Skyline cabinetry. Basically, we're here to expand the Daikin capabilities and help everybody win. So what we're doing essentially is getting the Daikin cabinet itself, and we are building a custom air handler inside of it. So we're going to be going in Daikin Tools, selecting the DST for Austin and his team, and then get you guys basically a full custom solution. And where that kind of helps out and where we kind of fit in the marketplace, this really kind of shows where we're at, right? So on the bottom here, you have complexity. So you have your standard manufacturers on the left, so you're just standard Daikin Trane Aeon. And then on the right, as further you go right, complexity increases. So you have your full custom stuff. And that comes with a cost, right? So Mass is going to give you guys a more complex unit, something where you might need some either more bells and whistles or a different layout, something like that. But we're going to be at a price point that's not fully at that custom manufacturer price point. These are some of the components that we're doing, some of the modifications that we're doing here on the right. They typically come into these four pillars, as we like to say. So it's either going to fit into like a low footprint application, energy recovery applications, knockdown applications, or your specialty projects where you're just having fun with it, essentially. So a couple highlights on those components that have been really popular for us as of late. VRV coils will pipe, install kits and controllers, do the selections on everything. And then wraparound heat pipe shown there. We also do side-by-side heat pipes too. But the wraparound heat pipe is very, very popular for dehumidification. And then on the top there is an ECM array. We're very, very good at applying ECM arrays in different orientations. That orientation is shown as a vertical fan system. So we're able to take those ECM fans, basically apply them in any orientation you would need. But this is a very, very popular layout for us. We do probably 400 to 500 of these units a year. And with that, you can get very, very small footprints. And that's why it's so popular, right? So it's, first of all, for retrofit opportunities, so your church basement, stuff like that, where we're able to put on a bolt-on filter rack. And then for the discharge side, we're able to also add a heating element, right? So your gas heater, your electric heater, hot water coil, anything you kind of need there. The cool thing with this application, you're also able to go up on the high side of things, so 60,000, 70,000 CFM for your air turnover units. So really unique, not so unique application, but very, very popular. Taking that same idea of a vertical fan, here is an example of kind of what we're helping expand Daikin's capabilities by doing, right? So this is a typical air handler that you can select in Daikin Tools. It's a normal economizer unit. It's pretty long, about 30 feet long. What we're able to do by utilizing ECM fans, we can also do this direct drive plenum, but we love ECM. We're able to take those return fans, turn them vertically, and by doing so, we're able to shrink the unit, in this case, by about 13 feet. And it's also very, very popular for us to do this. Great on space saving, but then it's also great on equipment cost because you're less cabinet, and rigging cost as well. So it's very, very popular for us. The next pillar we're going to talk about is knockdown. So your knockdown application would be where we're basically taking the Daikin unit, we're turning it into an IKEA furniture piece. Essentially, we're palletizing it, creating instructions, and putting stickers on everything, A to A, B to B, that kind of thing, right? It's typically, we like to say the Daikin cabinet is kind of already made for this, right? So if you're pretty confident in doing this yourself, feel free to keep doing that yourself. But if you're not so confident or you just haven't done it yet, it's one of those things where you're able to put a little bit more liability on the manufacturer. We're able to send out site supervised installation of this. So kind of help you out on that end as well. Very, very popular for retrofit applications. So coming back to this graph, right, as we get into energy recovery, we're just basically, like I said, increasing the complexity without really increasing the cost too much, right? There's a lot of good stuff that Daikin does standard. Like we're just going to increase that capacity. And where we kind of provide value in that, we're a very strong basis of design units. Like I said, we can get pretty complex with some stuff. But we're also very good on the VE side of things as we're cost effective. Expanding Daikin's capabilities, this graph kind of shows you guys, hey, Daikin can really do anywhere from 14,000 on plates on indoor units, 16,000 or 23,000 on wheels on indoor units. We can really expand that all the way up to 48 and 55,000 respectively. Same on outdoor units, right? We're able to go take them from 14 and 18 all the way up to 35 and 38. So how we do that, right? We'll start off with wheels. Wheels, we're able to do any kind of application you kind of need, right? So your DOAS, your dual wheel, your V-bank, your U-turn applications with either enthalpy, sensible, or passive desiccant. And what we're able to do essentially is we're able to create dual wheel units like this and really bring that CFM all the way up to 45,000 CFM. In this scenario, we're also utilizing staggered coils, ECM fans, to really help out with the footprint as well. So that's a unique wheel application for you. So on the plate side of things, we're also very popular on doing these plate style arrays, where we're able to squeeze as much surface area out of these plates as we can, which helps us increase capacity. Doing these this way, we're able to utilize, hey, on our outdoor units, we're able to utilize the fact that we don't have to keep the air tunnel constant throughout the entire unit. So what we're doing is we're taking a Daikin Skyline unit and we're building inside of it. So we're putting that foam injected paneling down the middle of this unit, basically going, hey, the filters need to be at 500 feet per minute. On the other side of those filters is just a fan that can actually squeeze up a little bit more as far as the velocity goes. That way we can make this unit as narrow as possible. We also have another very popular energy recovery option for you guys. So it's what we call a Reconomizer. It's a partial outdoor air energy recovery layout. We're basically, instead of an economizer section where you typically have, we're going to throw in an energy recovery device into that section without growing your unit length at all. It's very, very cost effective. Typically, your partial OA applications like your schools, your that kind of stuff, very, very popular. Instead of having, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit, instead of having a layout where you have 4 duct connections or duct connections that are kind of all over the place, this kind of takes your standard air handler, horizontal duct connections, that kind of thing, while also incorporating your energy recovery. So it's very, very easy, very, very good application for partial OA energy recovery. One fun thing we can do with that, like I said, this is kind of only scratching the surface of what we can do, but we like to throw a lot of fun ideas into these air handling designs and make air handlers as fun as possible, right? So one of the wrinkles we can throw into the Reconomizer design is a dedicated exhaust Reconomizer. This is an indoor unit. We could also do this on an outdoor unit, but it's just another wrinkle we can throw into our applications. The next energy recovery device I'll just touch on is AccuBlock. I could do an entire webinar just on AccuBlock because it's such a powerful energy recovery device. But the short of it is, it's an incredibly effective energy recovery device, right? So you're seeing here close to 90% total effectiveness during the winter. Your 0 degree entering temp is your 63-degree leaving temp. Basically allows you to reduce your boiler size throughout the entire building, reduce a lot of your heating load. To where instead of having an entire boiler before, maybe now you just need an electric heater or a heat pump or just a small hot water coil instead of a large one, right? So it's very, very popular in cold climates. Basically, what it's doing is a dual core energy recovery device to where it is using the enthalpy or using the energy in one of the cores. Once that core meets a frost condition, it's going to switch to the other core and let that first core defrost. And then it'll just switch back and forth between the cores, never reaching a full frost condition, allowing you to get all of the energy out of your winter air. Here's an example of it. Layout wise, it works exactly like a plate does. So your airflow crosses with your energy recovery device. But layout wise, it's almost similar to a wheel effectiveness, and even more than that. Here, like I said, we just have a heat pump for our additional heating element. Makes it very, very efficient unit. That's about all I guys have for you. Thank you, Ken, for the quick coffee break.
Thank you, Reed. Appreciate it. That really just scratches the surface of the possibilities that we can do with MAS, not MOS, as a third-party installer. Thank you for joining us this week. Couple prizes we got. Please reach out to your sales engineer to select a prize. Join us next week with Nick Bryant, who will be covering thermal ice storage. We will see you next week, and good luck with your fantasy brackets.